Hi guys, welcome back to another day of vlogmas. I am so excited for today's video. I hope that you guys are too. Today is going to be my third installment of my holiday makeup series. So this past Sunday, you guys would have seen me create a more subtle look. This one was more focused around the base products of the look. And then on Tuesday, I shared a look with a red lip. So of course that one was very focused on the lip, but today it's all about the eyes. So I'm actually going to show you guys how I created the look that I have on right now. Extra bonus for this video is that I used all affordable products. One of you requested a video using affordable products and that you wanted me to create a more glam look. So this video is for you. So I'm thinking I want a gold pop. Like I'm thinking I want that to be like the main part of the look. I'm not so sure yet if I want it to be 100% like neutral on the eyes and maybe more smoky, but I do know that I really want to let this be the star of the show today. This is the Ulta Beauty Lustrous Foil Eyeshadow. I have mine in the shade Rose Gold Leaf, and this is really what I'm wanting to center the eye look around. I'm wanting just a super glam sort of a look, and I think this is going to give me exactly what I'm wanting. Since this look is going to be mostly focused on the eyes, I do want to do my eye makeup first. That way if I have any fallout, I can wipe it up. I'm also filming this at night and I had a full face of makeup on during the day. So when I took it off, I've got a ton of like little glitter flecks all over my face. So I'm just gonna kind of roll with that. I'm not gonna worry too much about it, but I will wipe my face off before we do the face makeup. But to give my face a little bit of hydration while I do the eye makeup, I actually just want to spray on some of this ColourPop Pretty Fresh setting spray. I will add primer later on, but for now, I just want to kind of drench the skin to let it have a little bit of moisture on it while we do the eye makeup. This setting spray is so hydrating feeling. It just feels like very refreshing. So I really just wanted to add it as kind of a priming spray just to feel a little bit more refreshed, because right now it's 10 o'clock at night. So I could really use that when creating a new look. I've brought you guys in a lot closer, obviously, so that you guys can see the eyeshadow look. So as you can tell, I do have like a good bit of glittery products still on the eye. I probably could have done a better job taking that off, but I'm gonna cover it up so it'll be okay. I didn't want to wash my face twice and then film and then wash my face twice again, so we're just gonna kind of roll with it. But for primer, for eyeshadow primer, I'm going to use this one from Ulta Beauty. This is the Matte Eye Primer. I really love this product. I know sometimes the gift with purchase items are kind of garbage, but if you ever get this as a gift with purchase from Ulta, don't sleep on it because it's really, really good. And even though it's a mini, it will last for a really long time. So I just added a tiny bit to my finger, and then I'm going to put that on both of the eyelids and then just blend it in. If you guys have never seen this lustrous foil eyeshadow from Ulta Beauty, this is what it looks like a little bit closer up. It is pretty intense and sparkly, and that is what I'm wanting for this look. So I'm gonna go all out for the look, but this is what the shadow itself looks like. I mean, does that not look high-end to you guys? I think it does. You gotta be careful holding it up because it's such a chunky formula that I don't want to spill it. It kind of is like the same vibes as my nails with those chunky glitters, but I want to swatch it just so I can kind of keep a refresher up front and center of what I'm wanting to add to the lid, so that as I'm building the matte shades, I can look at this. But I really do want to build it up to be like pretty smoky, I think. I honestly don't know what I want to do. I was kind of scrolling through some inspiration photos before I sat down to film this. I knew I wanted gold, but I wasn't sure like how I wanted to do it. So I'm going to just kind of let my creativity run with this and hope that it turns out like I'm wanting or like I'm hoping. But really for this tutorial, keep in mind, just try to use the products that you already have. You know, I shopped my stash for all of this. None of it is purchased. I didn't purchase any of it for this tutorial. If you're interested in this particular single shade, I'll link it below for you guys because it is going to kind of be like the center of the look. But outside of that, I really feel like just reach for anything that's in your collection. And even with this too, like if you have a shimmery gold that you really like, then reach for that instead of this. But this is just what I have in my collection, so I want to use it. I'm going to start out with this palette from Milani. This is the Gilded Mini palette, and I just want to start out with the lightest matte shade in here to kind of set down the eyeshadow, or set down the eyeshadow primer. While I already have this palette out, I'm going to go ahead and dip into the second lightest shade from the palette just to give my crease a little bit of definition, and then we're going to go in with a different palette and kind of continue the look. I'm almost thinking I want to do like a cranberry sort of a color on the lid, and add that in with the gold, kind of like the color of my sweater today, but I'm really just not 100% sure. I always tell myself that if I do the entire eye look and I don't like it, I can always just take it off. For now, that's going to be all I add from the Milani palette. I was kind of thinking, like, I think using the That's Taupe palette could be really pretty for this time of year, like a holiday look, but I want to use a bit more warm tones today, I think, because I want to do the gold shade. I feel like this would look super pretty for like a silvery black smoky eye. And when I thought about like a glam holiday look, I always think about the GLAM palette from Natasha Denona. I almost said Nomad, but I'm just really wanting to dig into these more like warm tone shades for some reason. I'm not really even sure why, but I definitely feel a little bit limited in my drugstore palettes. Like as far as palettes go, the That's Taupe, the Making Mauves from ColourPop, and then the two of these are really like my only drugstore eyeshadows, so I'm gonna have to get a little bit creative here. I guess I'm gonna go in next with the BH Cosmetics Hanging in Hawaii palette and try to kind of get what I'm going for. So I'm gonna dip into this brown shade here. Whoops, so hard to show you guys. I'm gonna dip into this shade here, which is just a little bit warmer than what I was using. So for this, I'm gonna put it on the outer portion of the lid. And I think I'm also going to put this on the inner portion. For some reason, I'm wanting to do like maybe a halo eye, but I also saw this look. Oh my gosh. I hit pan. Look at that. Oh, that's so fun. I haven't hit pan on something in a while. Yes, yes, yes. That is so exciting. Look how fun. Nice. You gotta love it. I love when I hit pan in the middle of filming a video too. Now I've lost my train of thought, but I kind of want to do a halo eye, but on Instagram, I saw this picture of a nice holiday look where they kind of had like interesting placements of shades, and it's just kind of been what I've been into lately, seeing it on other people. So I'm going to try it today and just go from there. I do feel like I would have better luck creating the type of look I'm thinking if I wasn't using affordable products, but I just want to see like what I can come up with from what I already have in my collection. So I'm going to really try and challenge myself to that, but I definitely don't have like extensive options in the eyeshadow department, unfortunately, for more affordable options. I love drugstore makeup, don't get me wrong. I just tend to lean more towards high end for eyeshadow palettes specifically. With a bit of a denser brush, I'm actually going to pick up this pink shade. I'm hoping I can get a little bit of like a cranberry feel with this, even though I don't think I have like a nice deep cranberry color from a drugstore palette. I'm gonna add this to the outer corner for now. I'm feeling like I might need to dip into some of my chopping block palettes. I don't know, I might can make this work if I mix in like a brown with it. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the inner corner, and I'm hoping I'm not gonna regret this because I sometimes feel like when I put a pink on the inner corner going towards a halo eye that it makes my eyes look a little bit sickly. So if I don't like it, I will just have to cover it up later. But for now, I really want to try and do kind of a halo eye, but then I want to place stuff other places as well. So we'll see. I don't know. So I guess this is going to be like glam, but a bit more creative than I would typically do for like a more standard glam look. I don't know if that makes sense, but I want to just be creative. I'm in that kind of a mood. So keeping the holidays in mind is just like a fun way to wear. Like, I think cranberries and golds remind me a lot of the holidays. So I'm just going for something a little bit more creative. Actually, I really like this shade. I hardly ever use this shade, so this is actually very nice to encourage myself to dip into something else. Okay, I'm going to pick up these two matte brown shades, and also I'm going to dip into this a little bit cooler tone one, kind of mix them all together, and then layer that on top of the pink shade. I'm just going to kind of play around with mixing different tones. Unfortunately, this is kind of covering up the pink like completely, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and try to get the depth that I'm wanting on the outer corners, and then I'm going to add the pink shade on top and see if we can make that work, but this one might just take a little bit more work. I also want to make sure to bring the shadows out a little bit farther because I want a really clean line with the makeup wipe here in a little bit, so I'm going to try and really remember to pull them out more. I don't know, now that I've kind of covered up the pink on the outer portion, I'm kind of into that with just the pink on the inner section. I'm adding some of that lighter brown that I just hit pan on into the crease to kind of help blend everything again. I'm nowhere near done with the eye look, but I do want to go ahead and wipe up some of this fallout just because I think it might help me sort of see closer to what the end result's going to look like. So I'm just going to wipe up some of that. But I'm not trying to make that line on the outer portion right now that I'm wanting later. While I love this palette for every day, I'm finding that the depth of it is kind of just like blending away. So I'm sure I can still work on that to get some more depth like I'm wanting to, but I'm just going to kind of look around and see what else I have in my collection. So I think I'm actually going to go back into this Milani palette and add some of this deepest matte shade. I'm liking the blend on this a little bit better. It seems to be keeping its color slightly more. Also, just a reminder that holiday looks don't have to fit into a certain box. Like whatever you're feeling for the holidays is a holiday look. I know this one might not be like your most typical holiday look that you're seeing online right now. I really like to see the more creative and unique holiday looks that I've been scrolling through and seeing on Instagram lately. So I really just wanted to kind of do my own take on one. But on the flip side, this look I'm creating now could also just be worn like at any time. With a clean, dense brush, I'm going to pick up more of the pink shade I was using and pack that on the inner corner. I'm really liking that actually on the inner portion of the crease and the lid. This tone I feel like is actually very flattering. So I don't think it's making my eyes look sickly. And also once I kind of get it out of that inner corner, I think it'll be better too. I feel like these matte shades are just so perfect for an everyday look. Like they're blending beautifully, but the pigment itself, it seems like it's just super subtle when you actually put it on the lid, and otherwise it's kind of just like falling on the rest of my face. So it's not exactly the formula I would want to work with for a really glam look right now, because it's just, I find it to be such a great everyday palette, but I'm wanting a little bit more right now than what I'm able to get with this, but it could just be a me problem. I don't know. I'm gonna try and kind of get that pink color out of the inner corner here. See, I think that makes a huge difference. Like here, this is kind of starting to make my eye look sickly in my opinion, but I just wiped it out of the inner corner and I think that made a really big difference. So I really like that on the inner portion of the lid though. I think that's a really pretty shade. I might try and pick some up with my finger, but you could just see that it's more subtle. It's almost like a satin shade. There we go. Okay, I think adding it with the finger might be the way to go, because this is definitely more like punchy, like I was wanting. I love it though when it's all blended out. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind for more like everyday during the week type of looks that I can wear to work, but this added with the gold I think is gonna be really pretty, I hope. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of NYX glitter glue. Again, this is a drugstore product, and I'm just gonna add this to the center of the lid. And this is where I want to put the gold shadow. I think I might pull the gold kind of at a diagonal, so I'm going to keep that in mind here while I'm putting on the glitter glue as well. I know the shadow applies better with a finger, but I do want to try it with a brush so I can try to be a little bit more targeted. So I'm going to see if I can make it work. It seems like it might. I picked up a good bit on this brush, so I'm going to try now just to kind of pack it on. So when I say I want to do it at a diagonal, I want to put it in the center of the eyelid, like right above my iris, and then I want to pull it towards like the arch of my brow, and then even kind of towards the tail end of my brow as well. I just want to use a different placement than what I usually do. I tend to wear about the same eyeshadow look every day, but with slightly different shades. So I'm just wanting to kind of go all out. But I'm keeping most of the pigment here on the lid, pressing into the lid first with the shadow, and then once I have less on my brush is when I'm pulling it towards the brow bone. This is a gorgeous eyeshadow. Can you guys see like just how reflective this is on camera? I really hope so. So I love this one. It's so high-end feeling. Like if you told me this was an hourglass eyeshadow, I would 100% believe you if I just started using it. If you're trying to pick this up with a brush, instead of kind of picking it up like you might a matte shade, you kind of have to press it down so you don't get like a ton of product out, and then pick up a few smaller chunks, like try to scoop them up to where the brush is just sort of like holding them, and then you can press them onto the lid. This is a very, very chunky formula though. So I'm liking the pink tone and I don't want to lose it, but I am feeling like I want the gold to be the star of the show. And right now the pink is so kind of like really powerful, which I'm glad about that it's more pigmented, but I want it to be slightly more like cranberry. And instead of trying to mix a bunch of colors into this one to make it more, I know this is a cranberry color, but I'm wanting like a slight bit more purple to it. So I'm actually thinking I want to try out this other product, which is actually another single eyeshadow from Ulta Beauty, but this is the Bouncy eyeshadow in the shade Buttercream, and it's very subtle in a way, but it can be built up to be very pretty over top of something else especially. So I want to try and add this shadow actually on top of the pink and see what that gives. I tried to add the gold slightly more into the inner corner on top of the pink, but it really just covered up the pink. So I'm going to pick this up again on a brush at first. I'm trying to be really targeted and precise with what I'm going for. Yeah, that might be what I'm looking for. It's kind of helping it blend into that golden shade a little bit more, almost making it look like I added a pink shimmer shade instead of the matte shade with something else on top of it. I think this one is applying a bit better with a finger, so I'm just going to do that on this other eye. Yeah, I really like this a lot. I'm going to kind of tone down the very front part a little bit, and then I do want to go into this rose gold leaf shade with a finger, and I really want to build that up right on the lid now that I'm happy with how the pink is looking. I think that's what I need. It's right here. I just think that's so beautiful. And I'm going to blend the edges out to hopefully give it more of a gradient look, but I'm really liking this. Okay, I'm using the brush that I used for the gold shimmer shade earlier just to kind of blend out the edges, but I mean, I want the glitter. I'm into this. I feel like I got some of the chunkier glitters on my left eye, so I want to try and add that to the right eye as well, versus it being more blended in right there. I want the chunky glitters on the lid. I'm going to add more of that deepest matte shade from the Milani palette to both of the outer corners, but I want to be very, very targeted with this because I don't want to cover up any of that pretty gold. I'm going to bring the gold a little bit farther over on this eye because it's come over farther on the left eye than I realized, which is fine. I'm loving this. Okay. I am obsessed. I really, really like this. I thought I was going to add a different shimmer shade like somewhere in this region, but I'm really liking how this is looking, so I'm going to just roll with it and clean up the eye area, clean up the fallout, and then jump into the face makeup, which the face makeup is kind of just like whatever you want to do, like put that on, because I really wanted the eyes to be the star of the show, but we're going to add a bit of liner and everything too, so we're not totally done with the eye look, but for now I want to kind of bring the face up to speed and then continue with the eyes. Again, I'm taking that pink shade out of the very inner corner to help my eyes not look sick. And I'm going to create a bit of a sharper line here as well. I'm gonna add 2 primers. I know I used the setting spray earlier to kind of prep the skin, but I really have to have like a good base for my products to go on because my skin is so dry. So this is my favorite primer. It happens to be from the drugstore, but it doesn't matter where it's from. This is my favorite. It's the Glass Correct from Wet n Wild. This is an amazing hydrating primer. It gives you just the prettiest glass looking skin. If you do have some redness, the green tint in it can help like a tiny bit, but for the most part, I really just like the texture of it and how, you know, and how glowy it makes my skin. It just makes my skin look healthy in my opinion. I'm gonna let that sink in for just a second while I start to brush through the brows, and then I'm gonna add the second primer. For my second primer, I'm going to add this one from e.l.f. This is the Power Grip Primer. I don't want to add a ton of this. I just want to add a little bit right to the center of the face, mostly focusing this right around the nose area. Once I've put this primer where I really want it to go, I will kind of pat it into the skin. I feel like that helps just really activate it. But you do want to let this sit on your skin for at least like 20 or 30 seconds before you put a foundation on top of it, or I've noticed that it will really break apart. But if you let it sit for several seconds, it will grip your products so well. While I let that sink into the skin, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. So I'm just going to start out with this pencil from NYX. This is it's the one I always use, the Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Cool Ash Brown. And I want to fill in the back portions of the brow with this, and then I'll do the front portions with another product. For the front portion of the brows, I'm going to use the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in the shade this one's just an Ash Brown, also from NYX. I don't have an affordable clear brow gel, but you can get the mini of the Anastasia clear brow gel for about $9, and I can personally attest that it will last you for a very long time. So that's what I'm going to be using right now. I just have a little sample of this one that I'm using up. I'm so excited to see this eyeshadow look with the full makeup on, because I don't know if I've liked an eyeshadow look this much in like a very long time. I really like this. Okay, that has had plenty of time to sink into the skin now, so we're going to go ahead and add foundation. I'm going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation as well. I have this in the shade Fair 20N. I think this is a really good shade match. This is the second bottle of this that I have owned. I went through the first one and I loved it enough to repurchase it. So really do like this one. I haven't used it as much lately though. I have just found a lot of really good foundations over the last year, but I still really like this one. And I'm going to use a sponge to blend this out. I usually would add a little bit more foundation to the face right now, but I'm trying to use lighter layers lately, so I'm going to be done with the foundation now and then just add some concealer where I feel like I need it. So I'm going to use this concealer from Flower Beauty. This is the Light Illusion Concealer. I love this one. I feel like people either love this or hate this, but I'm definitely in the love it category. I just took the stopper out today. I wish the packaging was a little bit different, because like there's a ton of product on this now, but before I took the stopper out, it was like nothing was coming out, and it kind of is like that from right when you get it, but I don't even care. I love this formula so much. And again, I'm going to blend this out with the sponge. The sponge I'm currently using is from the Sephora in-house collection. They sent me this to try out, and I do really like it. But my favorite affordable sponges are these Shop Miss A ones. I've been using them for years. I buy them by the 6-pack. I think that they're really great options. And so budget friendly, because one of those sponges is $1.55. For my powder cheek products, I'm going to kind of speed this process up, but I'm going to add the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in Forever Sun-Kissed, the Revolution Blush from the Duo Blush and Highlighter, Duo in Sweet, and then I'm going to kind of mix these two highlight shades, the one from the palette, and then I'm also going to add a little bit of the Catrice highlight in Supreme Rose Beam. For the lower lash line, I'm just going to add a bit of this lighter brown shade from the Hangin' in Hawaii palette. I'm going to go ahead and curl the lashes, but I do want to add some eyeliner to the tight line before I finish up the eye look. I recently picked up this eyeliner from Maybelline. This is the Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Eyeliner, and I'm going to use the shade Metallic Nights. So it's a black with a little bit of like metallic bits in it, but you could also use the NYX eyeliner is another great affordable option, but I just want a tight line with this one. And I'm going to put it in the very outer corner here, but I'm going to leave it out of the rest of the waterline. But I just wanted to give a little bit more lash definition. I think this look would also be very pretty with a nice winged liner, but I'm not even going to do it because I don't want to cover up any of these shimmer shadows. So I'm going to leave it as is. I'm really happy with how it's looking and I just don't want to change anything. So I'm going to go ahead and add mascara. I'm loving this one still. This is the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift, and I'm going to really pile this on the upper lashes. I also want to make sure to add a good bit on the outer edges of the lashes. I wish I had somewhere to go because I'm actually so in love with how this look is turning out. I really like that pink tone right in the center of, right in the inner portion of the crease and the lid. I feel like it makes my green eyes like really, really pop. I'm definitely gonna reach into that shadow a lot coming up. I want something in the inner corner, I think, and I do have this shadow sticks from ColourPop, but I'm just not sure. I don't know if that is gonna be the right color, and I hate to put it there and then regret it. I don't think this is what I want this time around. What I have sitting here is this little palette of singles from the Kathleen Lights and So Jaded palette from ColourPop. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna pick up this light shimmer shade from in here and add that to the inner corner. It's similar to the Cold Girl one, but the flecks of glitter in this are a little bit more subtle. So I'm thinking this is gonna go a little bit better with the look because I just don't want the inner corner to be super, super punchy in comparison, but like that I feel like is the final touch. Like it just kind of polishes the look right there. And I feel like it pulls in that gold just like I was wanting to, like with that diagonal. I feel like that really pulls in the diagonal line. Now for me, the hardest part is what to put on the lips. I brought several options over. I'm kind of thinking that Social Status from Ulta is going to be what is going to do the trick just because it's super neutral. So I'm just going to throw that on the lips to see if it's going to be the right color. Yeah, I think it is because I want something a little bit more neutral since the eyes are really the focus point. And I do want to add a bit of lip liner. This is just Warm Nude from Koki. Yeah, I think that's really good. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this so out of order, but I haven't added any powder and I do want to powder the under eye area. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder and I just want to set right under the eyes. So hopefully you guys can see the difference of that on camera with the powder and then without. I can definitely tell a difference in person, and I feel like that just really kind of finalized the look. So I'm going to powder under the other eye, and I'm also going to pull the powder right beside the bottom of my nose too. Okay, last up for setting spray, I'm actually going to use this one from e.l.f. This is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. This just has more of an actual long-lasting capability in my opinion, whereas the ColourPop one is super pretty for like melting in the makeup, but I don't feel like my makeup's looking very cakey right now. So I just want to add a little bit of this. I'm not going to drench the skin though, just because I am liking how it looks. I just want to add a little bit of setting spray to help it last as long as possible, even though it's the end of the night. I'm not sure why this is like the third time I've forgotten to apply blush like in my Vlogmas videos, but I'm gonna add the blush. I was like, what is this? What is this look missing? The blush, that's what. And it's going to hopefully pull some of the pink as well. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of this blush from Milani in the shade Bella Bellini. Okay, now that I finally remembered to add the blush, this is the finished look. I really hope that you guys are as excited about how this look turned out as I am, because I really like how it turned out. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I do hope that you guys enjoyed watching me create this look, as well as seeing all of my other Vlogmas videos. I've been really enjoying Vlogmas, and I really hope that you guys are too. I've been putting in a lot of work to create these videos for you guys, but I also know that it's a big commitment for you guys to tune in every single day and spend some of your daily time with me watching my videos. So thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I really do truly appreciate you guys supporting my channel and taking the time to watch the content that I put out for you guys. I have noticed that a lot of you that watch my channel are actually not subscribed. So if you guys are enjoying my content and you're not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that button down below. It will really help my channel out, and it will also push my videos to your feed. So if you're already enjoying them, that would be kind of a win-win for both of us. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, I would really love that. It's totally free. And also, if you enjoyed today's video, if you will go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Again, these kind of things just really help out my channel. I know you guys probably hear everyone say that in their YouTube videos, but it really does help content creators in supporting their channel. So if you guys are enjoying my content. I'm so happy to hear that. But that is all I have for you guys today. Again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.